tuning in. Welcome back to the refit of my 42-foot Polynesian style double canoe, which I bought for €2,000 about 5 months ago. 20 miles from here, it was stuck in an anchorage, but we sailed it to the boatyard, and so far in the boatyard I've done the rudders, put some windows in, covered up all of my through hulls, sorted out quite a lot of rot already, and last week I was fixing quite a lot of rot in the first beam. This week, because I've only got a month or so left to go till I get put back in the water, I'm focusing my attention on the hulls, which actually need quite a lot of attention, as you can see. Hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. A little bit scared to cut the angle on the beam, so get the pros involved.
Ooh, man, my ears are...
So for the next beam, I'm definitely going to get it put on the ground. Last night I was just preparing everything on the hull because I'm going to change it up and go from working on that beam to doing the hulls. So it is a little bit frustrating that yeah, I'm not going to continue work on the beam just yet. With time ticking down, I think it's a good idea to work on the hulls. And then, as if by magic, a guy came down. He's a painter by trade and working on boats. Such a great coincidence that he came. He's come today with his proper festool sander, and yeah, we're going to get the paint off the top sides, and the bottom side's going to completely repaint all the hulls. It's also going to be nice to have that job done. Then the boat's not going to look as bad as well, and it just gives me that motivation. One thing that I have found, there are bubbles. They look like osmosis blisters, but they're only on the top sides. They're only on the hulls, not below the waterline. So I'm going to scratch back the paint, scratch back the fiberglass, and just see what it is. They're all uniformly in line, so they're obviously around the screw holes. So I'm going to do a little bit of digging into that first, and then we'll think of a course of action.
I don't see much inside it yet. Still nice clear glass there, no corrosion, and that's flat, so
we can
it might not be worth opening them up at all. We might just scrape them flat. I mean, if they are bubbles that have expanded in the heat over the years, they've done their expanding, right? It's been a long time, and so they're not going to get any worse.
Is that moisture?
I'm not sure. Absolutely not sure. It's flat now.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've got any moisture there.
So, unfortunately, we do have to sand off the lettering Mahi, which my mum painted. But the good news is my mum and dad are coming in a few days. They're coming back, coming to help. So progress is really gonna speed up. So the idea now is basically to scrape all the little bubbles, and Dominic's sanding. I have been using my power bank for power, but seeing as we're using quite a lot of electricity, we're gonna plug into the shore power. They didn't have a pre-made cable, so we're gonna rig up one of our own.
Wow, we should have bought us a decent knife or something. As long as it's tight, it will work. There you go.
Tools. It's very dark. Yeah. So nice to have Dominic here because he's done this hundreds and hundreds of times. Sanding and painting boats is his bread and butter. So nice to have him here, and he brought this Festool, which I've been seeing a lot lately. I talked about a Merca on the channel before. This is a Festool. I see a lot of people using it, and these are also very expensive. These are like pro grade tools, and it's tempting to get them, but when you've got friends like Dominic, the rain's been terrible. It's just rains, lashes it down for 20 minutes and then dries up. So in the little dry spells, I'm just continuing into the evening. And yeah, he also has the Festool vacuum cleaner, which is automatic. So when you power on the machine, the vacuum cleaner also turns on. How crazy is that, eh? Now, that level of convenience when you're doing these jobs is actually incredibly valuable. Using my Karcher vacuum cleaner with my Stanley sander is quite painful, having to tape everything on all the time. And yeah, sometimes it's worth paying the money. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to crack on with the holes. Let's go.
I can't let you go, baby. I just want to tell you that. No, 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 no. Yeah. All of my friends say, girl, you better take care.
Dominic was teaching me the ideal sanding technique, and that is essentially to go up, down, and then around like this in a star shape, basically.
No, no, 'cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby. I gotta tell you that I've been looking for love so true.
My apologies for the super disjointed episode, but we've only just pretty much finished sanding one hull, and that's just the first of many sands. We've uncovered a couple of little blisters, basically the bigger blisters. I think what it is there's an air void, or perhaps some of the screws became a bit rusty and it's just bulged out the fiberglass, as you know. A couple of them, the fiberglass is delaminated, so I'm gonna have to do some fiberglass repairs on those. So I'm returning to the beam now just to expose all of the little problems with it, the little cracks in the fiberglass, expose it all, get all the softer wood out, soft wood, and then yeah, then when I'm using the filler for the holes, I can also do the beam as well, kill two birds with one stone.
'Cause I love you, baby.
So the block that I took off is basically a locating block for the beams. I'll put that back in. Luckily there was not much rot there, I just cut out a piece, but because of the destruction of the block, I'm gonna have to fiberglass over that bit. Still need to fur down the repair, and yeah, it's gonna continue. massive thanks again to Dominic for coming. Again, we're almost done sanding both of the hulls. I think we've got 1.5 sides to go. So I've shaped the piece in the beam, that's looking pretty nice. A few other bits obviously which you've seen that I've revealed, a few others off camera. And yeah, just gonna start filling stuff. The blisters that were just shown, that they were the worst ones which I've actually dug down straight to the fastening or to the screw, and you can see quite clearly inside that the screws were left in and they were not made of stainless, and they've rusted and created these bubbles. So that's not really good, is it? How will the rust develop over time, and how will these bubbles develop over time? I'll keep an eye on it, and like I say, with everything on this boat, we'll see. All failures will be reported, and as long as it's not life-threatening, should be okay. Alright, all the surfaces prepared, acetoned, ground out all the rot, planed, everything's good. So now I'm using something called Polypox, which was given to me by a lad in the boatyard called Bass, thank you very much. And it is a thinned epoxy, so it should seep into the wood a little bit better. So this bit will have filler and then fiberglass over. I spoke to Hanneke today and she told me about the technique of just using a clear plastic bag. A lot of people had talked about peel ply, and yeah, it just gives the repair a nice smooth edge, especially on the corners of the beam, and it's going to save me a lot of time sanding. So yeah, I'm loving this process. I'm learning so much, learned so much over the last couple of months, and continuing to learn a lot from Dominic about painting and surfaces, and yeah, really nice. It would help if my spatula was flat. When you're doing this sort of work, filling and all that, you basically have two options. One is fill, stick everything in so it's big enough and you can sand it down afterwards, but you're gonna have to sand it down for ages the next day. Or you can do it neatly and not have to sand as much the next day. I struggle with the second option and I'm more about the first. I'm so close now to 100,000 subscribers. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, it's completely free. If I can get over 100k, it'll help me a lot for algorithm reasons and other reasons. But if you can help me in that way, thank you so much. 1 month to go till I get put back in the water. I'm gonna have to do a lot of work in the water. So, thank you so much to you guys. Thank you so much for your extreme generosity. Thank you to everyone just for watching, for tuning in, for your comments, your likes, your advice. I tried to follow it as much as possible. Last time, a lot of people told me to scarf the joint up on that beam. I'll do that next time, don't worry. And a few other little things which I've learnt along the way, so thank you so much. Next week, hopefully I'm going to get the layers of primer on the hulls. A lot more sanding to do. It's not really that interesting to show. So, maybe some time lapse of that, eh? Cool, alright, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye bye.